It's training camp season, and today we're looking at the Denver Broncos, getting a look at Bo Nix. He's been having a very good training camp. He's been looking good in preseason. We're going to see more of those clips today, plus some of the older ones if you haven't seen them yet, or if you want to see them again, I'm going to be right here for you. But you got to click that subscribe button right now. You need to click that because we're covering these players at training camp every single day. Training camp's wrapping up. We also got joint practices. We got these rookies who are doing big things on the field that might do big things in season or might flop, but you might see those little things that you don't like with those rookies or that you do like with those rookies. You're starting to draft these players in fantasy football. I'm covering a lot of these players, about 5-6 players a day, every day, and you may want to look at some of those players to see what they could deliver in season and what they're doing behind the scenes at practice. Click that button. Stop missing out. We're looking at Bo Nix today. Almost 4 minutes of clips. I think I got all my clips from training camp in this video for you guys to look at. But he looked good in joint practices. He did. He looked good in practices this week. He was letting it rip. He was consistent in the offense, fitting it in tight windows. He's had a good training camp. And from OTAs, rookie camp, mini camp, training camp, he's been looking good. He's been looking accurate. He's been making good decisions. Hasn't been overly flashy from what I've read. And heard from beat reports. And the overly flashy thing was from a few weeks ago. But on the flip side, just has been on point. And from what I gather, what that means from overly flashy, honestly, he's probably not dragging out plays. He's probably just going to the guy underneath, being open, going to his check down, just making the smart decision, keeping it rolling, keeping the chains moving. That is what we saw in preseason. We're seeing a lot in these clips. That's probably what they're getting at. Just making the smart move, honestly. Just going shorter with it when things are tight downfield and just not pushing it. Not scrambling, trying to go off platform. Not going sidearm with it. That's what they mean. So he's being smart, being very cerebral with the football. Being very conservative with it when he needs to. But you're also seeing him manipulate the pocket well in some of those. Like that play that happened while I was talking there. You're just seeing the cannon in some of these. You're seeing him let loose with the gun. You're seeing him do all that. And everything's been good. And he's a rookie. Expect him to do rookie things on the field. But expect him to ramp up. Expect him to develop. We'll watch him more in preseason. He's supposed to start off with the starters this weekend, which is very encouraging. We get to see more of a sample of him in-game. In-game's different than training camp, even joint practices. However, we got Bo Nix here. A lot of people were down on him going in the draft. Also, you got to understand this is a very good quarterback class. This is a very good quarterback class. We had a lot of very good quarterbacks in this year's class that would be top quarterbacks in any other class. And the thing about that is it's easy due to look at the hit rate of first-round quarterbacks and just call all the guys busts because you're going to be right more often than not. But the thing is, that's not real analysis. You want to look at the guy's traits. You want to talk about where they're good at, where they're succeeding, what they're doing in that moment. And you're looking at Bo Nix. He's got an arm. He's live. He's been accurate. He's been making smart decisions. He's been outplaying the gatekeepers on the offense. He's been outplaying these guys. As a rookie stepping in from Oregon, hasn't been on the practice field that much, really, honestly. We've only had a few weeks of training camp. Probably, 15 practices of training camp. A few weeks of mini camp, which is very vanilla. And then you got OTAs, which is just, hey, we're going to get out here. We're going to get acquainted. Some of you guys are new here. Let's get your name. We'll run through some drills. And then we got rookie camp, which is the same thing but with the rookies. He hasn't been out there too long. He's doing good. He's doing better than these veterans, albeit not world-class veterans. But still, he is getting past the gatekeepers right now. That's the first test. That's the first test. The beat reporters are saying that, not me. He is getting past the gatekeepers right now and looking good. And looking solid. And looking good in preseason already. Bo Nix is going to exceed expectations. Kind of is right now for some people. Kind of is right now. But he's very smart with the football. Very intelligent. Very cerebral. keeping the offense moving, and allow him to ramp up. Be patient with him. Don't expect him to be Tom Brady right out of the gates. That's ignorant. But Bo Nix is doing some good things. We're watching the joint practice clips again here because he was looking very good out there. He was looking very good out there, getting the ball out. And the joint practices are more important than the preseason games because it's rep after rep after rep after rep. And that's where you're going to get the looks. That's where you're going to get the more opportunities, the bigger sample to go against different defenses. And I believe it was Sean Payton, or maybe it was one of the other coaches. I'm gathering a lot of information. And they said, hey, the joint practices are just like another preseason game. Every joint practice is another preseason game. We take it that way. And that makes a lot of sense when you think about it. It sure does. Those joint practices are very important. You guys look at the small sample of the preseason games. You need to be paying attention to what's happening in the joint practices, what's looking in that. It's hard to get all the clips, and maybe you can't make it out there, but the joint practices are very important. That's live action, 1v1s with other teams, getting looks. I get it. They're going to keep things soft and a little bit more vanilla, but they're going to do the same thing in preseason. They want to see who's the better guy and all that stuff. But joint practices are very important for the developments. The training camp practices allows things to get installed more deeply compared to minicamp and OTAs, but once we get to joint practices, things are starting to get more serious. Bo Nix is starting to pass the tests. He's passing the tests. I can't wait to see what he does in season, if he gets the job or not, but his time is coming. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.